All right, Aji, so welcome. And today we'd like to hear about AI and the RAN. There's obviously a lot of activity going on in that space. What are you seeing?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to meet you, Jim. I think it's definitely it's a very interesting topic. There are a lot of things happening around in the industry right now, and as you have seen before, is AI RAN Alliance, which was formed in the beginning of this year. This was driven by some of the operators like T-Mobile, SoftBank, and Nokia is one of the founding members in this AI RAN Alliance. So what it really means is this is comprised of three different blocks. One is, I can simply term it as AI4, which means AIFOAR, which actually stands for AI for RAN, AI on RAN, AI and RAN. So these are the three different building blocks which are part of this AI RAN alliance. Each of them has definite objectives in terms of what they want to achieve, what we want to achieve in this really in the context. So AI for RAN, as the name implies, it's all about how do we bring the efficiency through AI into the RAN. So this, how do we use AI for RAN efficiency improvement? So as you know, this has been there for some time in the industry, like SON. So for Nokia has SON applications or SON features as a part of our portfolio, which provides the features helping the RAN efficiency. And now we have been building the AI algorithms, AI assisted algorithms into this into the SON as well. So this is one part of it. So this is, if we call it as near real-time rig or non-real-time rig. So RAN intelligent controllers, which is nothing but AI-assisted SON features which are coming into this space. And in addition to that, there are a lot many more features which are coming from in the which are linked with the AI, which is helping the RAN efficiency. For instance, with beamforming optimization, beam pattern optimization, all of these features would be coming into the RAN with the help of AI. So AI and RAN. So AI for RAN. So that's about AI for RAN. Now there is an AI on RAN. So this is the second block where we see that there is a potential opportunity where there are AI applications coming on top of RAN. So which would, of course, which would mean that there is a more traffic coming into the network. It could be dominated by uplink traffic, especially if you look at Apple Intelligence, what we have seen before in the recent times. That is, there is a distributed AI processing. So there is a lot more AI traffic which are expected into the network with AI applications on RAN. So it could also be coming from this API, network monetization platforms, which are also, built on top of the AI. So this is the second segment, which is AI on RAN. AI and RAN, this is, of course, coming from how do we monetize or how do we build the same infrastructure for both AI and RAN. That means both AI workloads and RAN workloads can run on the same infrastructure. So what it effectively means is you could use, say, let's say for if you build AI infrastructure, because many of the operators are looking to build the AI infrastructure because there are a lot of AI workloads, mainly for LLMs and generative AI applications, etc. But if you extrapolate further, if you build that into the distributed sites in a way that, it not necessarily in every cell site, but it could be moving more and more to the edge. So the AI processing moving more to the edge, then what if we can use the same infrastructure for radio access network, RAN workloads? So this is the fundamental principle there. That is, we could use the same infrastructure platform for both AI and RAN workloads. Then it can generate cost optimization for sure, the efficiency coming from it. Plus, you can also use it as an AI as a service platform for other enterprises and so on. So this is where it's coming from.
Excellent. Really interesting explanation. A couple quick follow-up questions. So on the second pillar, that's the AI on RAN, right?
Yeah.
For those kind of applications, how much does it leverage, prior work or existing work, the R apps, the idea of running apps on the 5G core?
Yeah, so I think this is definitely, it's not something going to be we have to reinvent from scratch. So it would be, of course, using the existing philosophy what we are trying to build in the industry for some time. So this AI for RAN as well as AI on RAN, it's going to evolve from what we have today. For example, these R apps or even the network monetization platform, which is also some work is ongoing today. You could use those APIs to build applications on top of it, which are assisted by AI. So in that sense, it is an evolution rather than so evolving from what we have today, rather than a completely new paradigm shift. So that's how it will be. So it's pretty
Okay.
much an evolution story. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then as for where these workloads would run, what role or interaction do you see between telco cloud infrastructure and the hyperscalers?
Yeah, that's a good question. That depends, of course, on various factors, right? Because today, if you look at many of the AI workloads or AI processing, that's done in centralized data centers. And the question is, who owns those centralized data centers? That depends. And depending on whether it could be coming from the hyperscalers, or it could be, if an operator is owning the infrastructure, then it could be coming from the operator on data centers. Now, the question is, how much of this will move to the edge, and what is the reason for it? What are the motivations for moving those processing to the edge? And when it comes to the processing, what does it really mean? Is it a training, or is it the model creation, etc.? Or it's more linked with AI inferencing. So AI inferencing could move more and more to the edge, where you need lowest latency. Maybe it's about the distributed AI processing from the devices, because devices will have a lot of AI capabilities built in, but not every processing could be done on the device because of the processing limitations or battery consumption and all of these things. So they need to offload some of this processing to the edge, and that's where
Mm.
the sort of where this could start to make sense. But ultimately, this has to make business sense. The
Okay.
investment versus the benefit, and I think this is where the whole industry is moving towards, bringing more and more AI applications, AI workloads, and which workloads are better to run on still on the centralized locations where the latency is not a major consideration, or the traffic flow between, let's say, where the AI inferencing happening versus where it is used. So then, if it is not a significant problem, then it can be still done on the centralized location. But there are some
I see.
cases where it makes sense to have it more and more edge processing, and that's where it starts to make sense.
Do you foresee that this would lead to a new class of edge devices, I guess, or equipment that telcos would want to deploy, I guess, either next to their base stations or as
Yeah,
part of the base station?
Yeah, this is exactly what is a part of this, the third building block, what I mentioned, this AI and RAN. So the idea is to explore further whether we could use the same infrastructure for both. So we don't know that yet because it's still some way to go. So if we could do it, then of course it would start to make sense. That is, you could have the same infrastructure built in for radio access networks,
Mhm.
especially from the baseband processing, what you say, the cloud infra and the AI infra could converge. So then, in that sense, it could be a good platform for building the edge AI on top of the RAN on the same infrastructure.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then finally, the last question is about industry collaboration. You mentioned that the AI RAN Alliance, and
yeah.
I'm wondering, whether either the spirit of or the existing work of Open RAN continues on through this new organization, or are they completely separate, or just some of the interests converge? How do you see it?
Yeah, ultimately, okay, right now these are two different, let's say,
Hmm.
consortiums, because ORAN Alliance is sort of a different consortium which is taking care of the Open RAN initiatives. And there is AI RAN Alliance, who is primarily looking into these three building blocks, what three pillars, what I mentioned. But it will effectively, it will converge in the sense that, okay, some of this, when you talk about cloudification topics, which is primarily part of the AI and RAN working groups, in the AI RAN alliance, and that is primarily having a lot of components in the cloudification area. So there is a lot of common stuff which will come from both ORAN Alliance and this AI and RAN working groups in that context. So it will be still two different consortiums, but there are a lot of common topics would come into these two, let's say, alliances going forward. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, we look forward to hearing more about this in 2025. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of activity. So thank you, Aji.
Yes, definitely. I think there will be a lot of initiatives happening around in this space. I think it's an evolution story for the future, but I think definitely there is a lot of potential around it. So as an industry, we need to work together. That's where the collaboration is the key with NVIDIA, T-Mobile, and we have a SoftBank. So we have started collaborating in this space, and it is really important. Industry collaboration is a must for this. Yeah.
Good stuff. Thank you again, Aji.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. Yeah.